Black and White 2. Can't wait till it comes out in the US on October 7th. And I can't wait for the Nintendo Wii U. Looks great, looks awesome, looks cool. And can't wait till it comes out around Christmas. That'll be cool. Alright, thanks. Peace. Peace out.